L'chaim!
What's up, people? We are back.
We doing this?
We're doing it right now.
Oh, wow, we're live.
I started.
All right.
We're up live right now. It's happening. So we had an interesting conversation coming into here, and we were talking about politics and, current events. And we're trying to figure out what we can talk about on the podcast without getting doxxed or alienating ourselves.
And it's nothing.
Yeah, there's a
can't.
lot of nothing. There's pretty much nothing. Like, we want to talk about current events, but it's like every time we're like, what about this? We're like, oh, God, that's
Basically
hard.
we could talk about Disney movies and candy bars.
Did you see they're making a Frozen 2?
I heard. Toy Story 4.
So excited. It's so true.
Wait, but I need to get something off my chest.
Okay.
As we do every week, you make me a delicious pot of coffee.
Oh, God. Here we go.
This week seems to have a little hazelnut flavoring in it. Never again.
Never again. It's almost gone. I use it in my Keurig.
Yeah.
See, this is what happened. I got regular coffee, and I had an old can of, hazelnut, and I mixed them together, and there's very little in there. You could barely taste it, but of course you are like, oh, my God.
I'm down with the excuses. Don't
do it again.
No.
It won't happen again.
It's terrible. But
funny.
anyways, now that we got that out of the way.
Yeah, we got that out of the way. So going back to what we were talking about, what can we talk about that's not too dirty, but it's a current event? It won't make people absolutely loathe you.
I don't know. Maybe how about this Jesse Smollett thing?
Oh, we're diving right
We don't need to get too deep.
It.
Just on the surface, it's fucking crazy.
It's crazy, and I think it's really bad for
everything.
Everybody. I mean, especially black people. I think it sucks.
Yeah.
It's like the boy who cried wolf.
Yeah.
We're getting to the point now where people are trying to use any method they can to make themselves insta-famous.
Yeah.
Not to be punny, but, it's pretty much what it is. And they're going to lengths that I can't even fathom. Like, can you imagine, as a Jew, being like, man, these guys in white robes, jump me, and were like, you fucking kike, and yada, yada, yada. And, putting that out. And calling the cops and putting that out as a lie. Could you
staging it?
Staging it, yeah.
No, I heard that they even rehearsed it.
Yeah.
Rehearsed this shit.
It's crazy.
Dude, it's crazy. And now, did he do it more because he hates Donald Trump, or did he do it more because he was trying to get a better contract?
It's an interesting question.
Because I heard that was behind it. He wanted to
equal pay.
He wanted a better
work.
Contract or more screen time.
Right.
But yet his motive behind it was.
But yet he's a nobody. I didn't know who he was before this. But the other people on Empire have been around for ever and a day. They've been in movies. They've been, they've been nominated for awards, all kinds of stuff.
I've never even seen the show.
Well, I mean,
is it good?
I've never seen it either. But I'm just saying, I know who the actors are. And
some of them, yeah.
They've been around, so they're getting paid, and they deserve to get paid because they're the draw, Where this guy, who is he? And if it wasn't for this whole thing that went down, I wouldn't know who he is.
Right. Did he accomplish his goal? Now he is somebody.
Yeah, but now he's going to be working at, Chick-fil-A.
He's going to be working at the cell block E for a little while, I think.
He deserves to be. I
100%.
mean, I think it kind of reminds me of To Kill a Mockingbird. You know what I mean? This is exactly what that story is about. Framing people for what they didn't do. And if you can't see, the parallels there, it's on you.
Well, I mean, I think you said it when you said, the boy who cried wolf. What happens when something actually goes down? It's the first thought in people's mind is fake. It's not. It didn't happen. And that's a shame because there is hate shit that happens. Well,
the sad thing is we live in a country now where you're guilty till you're proven innocent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and that's 100% what's happening across the board.
Yeah.
Even in situations that are real, you're oh no, she didn't get raped. She's lying.
Yeah.
She's just a filthy whore. There's no way that happened. And this poor girl probably got raped. You know what I mean? There's no let's sit back, analyze the information, and then make a decision. It's just Twitter quick, Instagram quick, let's get the information out there and make our decisions based on how we feel at the moment.
Yep.
And people jump on the bandwagon.
Yep.
Man. I see people on the morning news or the morning talk shows freaking out. this happened, I can't believe it. And then like 2 days later, they're like, yo, Anderson Cooper, calm down, man.
There's no such thing as journalism anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
they just put out, it's like it's like the headlines.
Yeah.
They just, the society is, everything moves so quick, and people just read that fucking snippet headline,
And it's over.
and that's what they go on. And it's like,
And it's
dude,
over.
and it's like you said, it's guilty until proven innocent.
Well, here's
And how do you prove innocence?
Well, and here's the thing, like, what are we trying to get at anymore? Like, I follow Jim Carrey on Twitter. I love Jim Carrey. I think he's an amazing artist. I've watched all of his movies pretty much.
So it's funny, okay.
Like, I think he's great. But he's gone in this art thing and this whole, like, anti-Trump thing, and he talks about how much he hates Trump nonstop. But his past, like, 6-7 pieces of art are all, like, Trump's face in an anti-way. Like, as a devil, as a Sith Lord, as a fat blob, whatever. Like, very, like, anti, but Trump's face. So I asked myself, I even, like, tweeted to him, Jim, I don't get it. Like, you hate him, but you immortalize him in your pictures. So you're actually adding to his cult of personality, which is, it's, like, mind-boggling to me. Like, you don't like him, which I can understand. He doesn't agree with anything you stand for, and that's perfectly cool with me. But why are you immortalizing him by painting him? Are you going to burn all those pictures in like a ritualistic, like,
But even that takes it to the next level.
It does take it to the next level.
Again, it immortalizes. It's like,
it gives more credence to his cult of personality. I mean, like, I said this from day one. Like, the left got Trump elected. Like, from the day he, like, started picking up steam on the road, I didn't hear anything but Trump 75 times a day.
Right. 75, that's a minimum, an hour.
Straight through. I know. I try to turn off the TV every now and then. But, like, even today, all I hear is Trump. I look on Twitter, I see 5 things about Trump, and then one thing about, like, I don't know, Frozen 2. You know what I mean? And then, like, I have the TV on, like, even on Sports Center, they're like, fucking Trump did this bullshit.
So I stopped watching sports because the sports used to be the escape.
Yeah.
To get away from all that shit.
Sure.
And it's consumed
by politics
now, and I can't fucking take it anymore.
Yeah,
so I stopped watching it. I stopped listening to it. I stopped reading about it. I don't fucking care because they have turned me off.
Even hockey?
Everything.
Really?
Hockey doesn't.
Hockey's not as much involved.
No, they're not, which I appreciate.
Right.
Unfortunately for me, when I stopped playing hockey, I stopped
watching,
caring about hockey.
Really?
It's weird. I was talking to one of my buddies about it. I'm like, and I ate, slept, breathe fucking hockey every
single day.
And when I was done playing, I was done with everything.
That was it. Yeah,
that was it. It's so crazy. Like, I have now I've gone to a couple live hockey games and I enjoy it. I'm actually going to one Saturday, and I'm excited. But
who are you gonna watch?
I'm going to the Rangers. I'm going to New York,
nice.
And I'm going to the Rangers game.
Nice.
And I'm looking.
Are you a Rangers fan?
No, Flyers fan.
Flyers fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's right. You told me that.
Yeah.
Flyers Eagles.
But yeah, I stopped caring about hockey. But you're right in that hockey is probably the least professional sport that brings politics into the mix. Yeah.
I have friends who are lifelong diehard Steelers fans. And I mean, like, we lived in Pittsburgh together, we went to games together, we lived the black and gold life, and they will not turn on a Steelers game because of the drama since Kaepernick through present day. Like, it's seriously, like,
did you see
it's amazing how turned off they are. Like, I try to talk, it's been a year, like almost over a year, and I said, dude, did you watch the Steelers? No, I don't watch football anymore.
Yeah.
Like, well, what do you do on Sundays? Hey, watch movies, play video games.
Spend time with the kids.
Yeah,
more shit around the house.
Exactly.
It's amazing how much time you get back when you don't
watch sports.
When you don't fucking
religiously. Yeah, it's true. I mean,
you see the whole Kaepernick with his salary with this new league that came out. Apparently, the average salary is like $250,000 to $350,000 over 3 years. Don't quote me on the numbers.
Yeah.
And he wanted a $20 million contract.
Is that
whatever
American
the fuck it is.
Football League or something?
Yeah, whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
It's the Vince McMahon thing. It's got like 7 teams. Like, they're all in the South. They play this time of the year.
Okay, yeah, that's what it is.
I watched a couple highlights.
Is it any good?
It's a little different.
Sure.
Like, the rules are a little different, and it doesn't look bad. They have, like, quality players, like guys who just barely miss the cut for the NFL.
Yeah, right.
Or are retired from the NFL of sorts. Like, they're getting too old, but they're coming back. Like, they're decent players. I think it's got it's got legs.
Isn't
it's
it?
got potential.
So you're talking Vince McMahon, the WWE guy?
Yeah, remember he did XFL.
XFL, right?
Yeah, so I think he came back with this now.
What's the difference between the XFL and this?
I mean, this is more professional. Like you watch it, the teams are actually more like. It's not like the XFL that was like World Wrestling Federation of football. This is like the real deal.
Do they have TV rights? Like, how are people watching it? Streaming it, or?
I don't know because we don't have a local team. They're all in the South. Like it's
all in the South.
It's all like
Texas, Florida,
snowbird cities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got Florida. There's like Arizona, New Mexico.
Yeah, let's look it up.
You could look it up. I mean, there's a bunch of teams in there that. I think it's 6 teams overall. I don't think it's a lot of teams. And the other thing they did is they brought back some like wicked coaches from like back in the day that are pretty good.
Alliance of American Football.
That's what it is. AAF, right?
No, so it's Charlie Ebersol and Bill Polian founded it.
Oh, really? McMahon's not in that?
Didn't
I
say.
could have swore they were talking about him being involved in that a couple years ago, but
8 centrally owned and operated teams.
yeah,
Okay, let's see where the teams are.
they're all in the South. I saw it on SportsCenter the other day. Did you
18.
see? Speaking of this, did you see what happened to Zion Williamson?
I heard about it.
Dude, his foot blew through his shoe. So of course, what went through my mind?
He needs a bigger.
No, Nike 6-year-olds must have fucked up that shoe.
Well, listen, maybe they did it on purpose so that now Nike they're in the headlines.
Oh man, if that's a headline, that's a bad headline. Like he sprained his knee, like 1st-degree sprain, and he's like the #1 player in the country.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Does he come back?
Oh, he'll come back.
But does he? Because if he doesn't even come back,
It's over.
he's
for
still
them.
a #1.
Pick.
He's still a #1 pick.
Yeah.
So why
his
come back?
athleticism is out of control. Because they want to. If he wins a national championship and wins like MVP and all that stuff,
It doesn't
big.
matter. He's still signing on the line for millions of dollars in
you're right.
4 months.
You're right.
Why come back and risk a fucking injury that could end his career forever?
That's a good point. But how many weeks they got left in college? Till March. Right now we're in February. It's 2
We're
months.
almost March.
Yeah, you're right. It's 1 month.
Why fucking come
So
back to risk that?
If he's not healthy in like 2 weeks, man, and they don't make it past the first round without him. But Duke's got players without him. They got like 3 players on that team that are going to be.
That's
in
what I'm
the
saying.
NBA.
I mean, selfishly, why come back when you know you're signing on the dotted line in 4 fucking months?
I think you got to talk to your people.
Of course,
see what they say.
They're having that conversation last
right
night.
now. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, they keep saying on SportsCenter that it's day to day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't watch SportsCenter, so I don't know.
Yeah, I know. You just told me that. Yeah, I know. I still watch because I can't watch. I used to be a politophile. Like I used to watch all of them, like Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, RT, Al Jazeera. Like I would just flip from one to the other and just get all angles of the story because I like to hear everyone's side.
Sure.
You know. But I can't watch any of it anymore for more than like 10 minutes because it's all the same thing all the time. It's Trump tweeted this and this is why it's wrong. You know what I mean? Like fact check. And it's like, oh my, like, is there nothing else we can talk about? Or if you watch the other side, it's Nancy Pelosi said this and this is why she's stupid. Like It's just the same back and forth. It's become just overwhelming. So I just have stayed away from it for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we talked about. You could go one way down a rabbit hole or the other way, and you're going to alienate people or friends or family or...
No, and it does. Like, I used to get on Twitter and talk to people or make comments in an inquisitive fashion. Like, well, what do you think about this? And, like, literally, people from all over the place would shit on me. Like, in an aggressive way. Like I was like, dude, I'm honestly just trying to talk to you. Why are we alienating all these people to
like you can't even ask a fucking question.
Right. So I mean like and it just got to the point where I was like, I don't want to get involved in this. I mean even my wife was like, dude, you gotta stop talking to those people. Like
Right.
like they're crazy.
Yeah.
Like some of the comments were like uber aggressive. So I just stopped altogether.
It's not worth
doing
it.
that. Yeah.
It's not worth. All right, real quick. So here we go. We got Atlanta Legends, Birmingham Iron, Memphis Express, Orlando Apollos, Arizona Hotshots, Salt Lake Stallions, San Antonio Commanders, San Diego Fleet. All terrible names. First of all, that's the first thing I thought.
I like the Stallions.
Salt Lake Stallions. All right, fine. San Diego Fleet. I mean, is that because of the navies out there?
Sounds legit.
Right? All right.
Yeah.
Memphis Express. Got to be because that's the headquarters of FedEx.
FedEx, yeah.
Orlando Apollos. What's that? Apollos.
I don't know. Apollo, the
Makes no sense.
god of the sun. It's sunny town.
I'll give you that. Birmingham Iron. Must be a lot of iron mills down there or something.
Maybe back in the day, yeah.
Yeah. Atlanta Legends.
It's Atlanta. Atlanta Legends. They got the Marvel Studios down there. I don't know.
Oh, is that where they are?
Oh, yeah. Most of the
All
Marvel
right,
movies
so
are made in
I'm going to
Atlanta.
say that's got to do something with that.
Sounds legit.
Arizona Hot Shots.
Oh,
I like that one. You know why? That's the Hot Shots were those firefighters that all perished in the blaze. They were called the Hot Shots.
Hot Shots, really?
Yeah. So okay, I'm down with that.
That's cool.
San Antonio Commanders. Sorry.
Commanders, yeah.
What's that for? San Antonio.
They command shit. They're badass. I don't know.
A terrible explanation.
I like San Antonio though. That's a great town.
Never been.
Really, dude?
Yeah.
The Riverwalk is.
I've heard
on
it's
point.
Yeah, no,
it's
I've heard
so
it's
cool. You can spend like 3 solid days down there, and like, I mean, just do it and do it and do it. It's awesome.
I'm interested in doing that.
You got to do it. You got to eat some of that good old Texas style brisket and steak, and oh my god, dude.
What's your favorite type of steak?
It really depends on the marbling, but a good ribeye, that's my favorite.
Okay.
For sure.
I'm a fillet person.
I mean, I love fillets. Don't get me wrong, because it's hard to screw up a fillet. You know what I mean? Like
Even more of a reason to
love them, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you get the right ribeye, and the marbling is melted right, and it just tastes like butter, that's the best to me.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even get that in a fillet because there's not enough marbling. There's not enough.
But the marbling
Good
is
fat.
fat, right?
It's good fat, yeah. But if you sear it and you cook it right, it tastes like butter.
Like you can chew that.
It should melt in your mouth. It should emulsify when you eat it. If the right
Take
cooks
your word.
make
Maybe
it-
we'll go to a restaurant and good
Order-
restaurant. And you
Yeah,
teach
order
me how to.
one,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't like that. I know people that love the fucking fat.
Well, there's gristle and there's fat. Let's not get this confused.
Okay.
The white thick stuff on the sides, that's gristle. I don't really like that.
Okay.
But the little white lines that go through it, that have like nice little, you know what I mean, pockets and whatever, there's smaller pockets. That's the fucking good fat. That's
Okay.
what, when it sears and it melts a little bit, that's what makes a steak like bada boom. You know what I mean?
Boom.
Bada boom.
All right. Well, I'll have to take your word for it.
Yeah, man. Take my word for it. Trust me. You're not going to get steered wrong here. Oh, man. I need some
so-
coffee.
Fucking hazelnut bullshit. Fuck, I don't know. Hazelnut made me sweat.
Don't be such a hater.
No, you're right.
Don't be such a hater. Listen, here's one thing. Coffee it's like a lifestyle. Like people who drink coffee, they're either down to drink any coffee, anytime.
I gotta disagree with you on that.
Well, I don't like putting stuff in my coffee.
I don't. I
Anything
go
with
straight
lemon
black.
sugar.
I like my coffee like I like my ground pepper.
That's right.
But I don't like fucking flavors.
I mean, if it's good coffee, I don't mind it. But I like black coffee as
Yeah.
long as you don't put cream and sugar and stuff in it. I think that ruins.
It's like a milkshake then.
Yeah, it's like a
My
milkshake.
milkshake. Man.
All the boys to the yard.
But yeah, I go straight black, and I didn't actually start drinking.
Do you like espresso?
Yeah, I can drink espresso.
What about cappuccino?
Yeah, anything that's just straight.
Yeah,
Black.
but cappuccino's got milk in it.
d-
But it's a style of coffee. It's different.
I'll say yes.
Okay.
Not preferred method of coffee, but I didn't actually start drinking coffee until I had the restaurant,
Yeah.
and you work in all hours of the fucking day.
Yeah, who are you talking to right now?
Yeah, and so that's when I started drinking the coffee.
You had a
and-
wing shop, right?
Yeah,
Down in
Savannah, Georgia.
Savannah, Georgia. Yeah.
Uh,
How'd that come about? You just fell into that, or you had somebody that kind of.
So the story is when Dad and I had an ink and toner recycling store in West Palm Beach, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
In the same plaza that we had, the store was a wing zone,
Okay.
and I was their number one customer. I just fucking loved it, and I always said, visiting my grandmother in Savannah, like one of those would go off here.
Yeah.
One of those would go off here. Well, eventually, the stars aligned, and it was the perfect timing, and so we decided to open it up.
You and your dad.
No, me and my wife at the time.
Okay, gotcha. Gotcha.
And 3 years in, and great experience.
Yeah.
Just great learning experience. I'll say the experience overall was actually fucking bullshit.
Right. It's tough, the restaurant business, but
Forget about yes.
Yeah.
But we bought into a franchise for their expertise,
yeah.
which we got none of.
Really?
Yeah, we got.
They kind of just left you on your own.
In certain things, yeah, we were their first drive-through concept.
Okay.
And they just didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
Oh,
and we were basically the guinea pig for them.
Ouch.
And everything was a fucking nightmare from the build out to the price.
What was your initial investment?
Like $380,000.
380,000. You could have opened a fucking Subway.
Dude, I could have done a lot
grand.
of fucking shit
You
for
could have opened up
$380,000.
3 Subways for 300 grand. Dude.
Forget about it. I'll never get in the restaurant business again.
Me neither. Forget about it. It's over.
Forget about it.
Game over.
But
yeah.
like I said, great. But I mean, I'd get there at 9 a.m.
Be there till it closed.
And we closed at fucking 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And then the cleanup. I'm done at 4. You breaking the fucking shit down. The money. The 4 a.m.
I know.
By the time I get home, it's like. You're doing it. I mean, it's fucking 7 days. I don't have to fucking tell you.
I had a breakfast at 6. Started at 6.
Well, thankfully, I didn't have a fucking breakfast.
Yeah. And what I would do is I would go. I had a guy open for me, and I would go in when it would stay busy, and then I'd leave, go to the gym for a couple hours, and then come back.
Dude, it's like your old man. I remember growing up, and he's fucking came home, sitting on the couch in his fucking wife beater.
That's it.
Take a nap, I guess.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't. I was too young and wired still. I was in my 20s, mid to late 20s, early 30s. So I was like. For me, I was like, I'll go to the gym, work out. You know what I mean? And then come back, and I'd end up drinking all night. That's why I got so damn big and fat. Seriously. And the worst was like the beer guys that would come in and be like, hey, man, did you try that new...
Right, here's a sample.
Yeah, sample. Like, I'd be like, no, I didn't. And he'd be like, oh, let me go to my truck. I'll bring you a bunch. And we'd sit there like at 2 p.m. and start pounding like Hefeweizens and like double box and, all these heavy beers from, IBU counts from 0 to 100. And everything in between, and then they would leave after like an hour, and I'm like half sloshed. It's 3 p.m, and when you're half sloshed already, you're like, I got a bar right here. Let's keep going.
Yeah, might as well fucking keep going.
Like, let me get another one, or let me get a whiskey or something, and change it up. And then I'd find myself at like 10 o'clock at night with like chicken tenders smothered in like hot sauce with 4 beers still spread out in front of you. And like then the guys would come in to watch football and I'd be like, oh, let's do shots because I'm wrecked already.
Right.
And I'm calling my wife at the time. She's like my fiance. I'm like, yeah, you gotta come get me. There's no way I can drive. And she'd come and pick me up.
Thankfully, our place didn't serve alcohol.
Yeah, it would have been.
But plenty of trans fats.
Yeah.
To go around. But no, yeah. So I as great of a learning experience it was equally as shitty from another direction. And the one thing I can't not, the food was phenomenal.
Sure.
Like they did it right. They perfected their.
Are they still
their
around?
food. They are.
They are. Yeah.
They are. Yeah. I think they've gone through some
growing pains.
I'll call them growing pains. They've been around since '91.
Yeah,
so they've been around for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, their food was second to none. I'll put their wing flavors up against any wing flavor.
Yeah.
Any wing.
Really?
Yep. The biggest boys on the block.
Is there one here in York?
There used to be up at the Green Spring Plaza. Where Gabriel Brothers is?
Sure, yeah.
There used to be one there.
And it's gone. I feel like there was a time period about 15 years ago when there was like a wing place opening up every other corner.
Yeah.
Like they super saturated the market and then they all just like disappeared.
Yeah.
And it was done.
Well, what happened was, and you're right, because what happened was a lot of the big name players in restaurants and food got in the game. McDonald's started doing wings. It failed, but they did.
Where was the test market for that? Because I heard about that
I
from
think
my
it was
suppliers.
more south because
it never came up here.
Oh, it didn't?
No. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it did come down to the south when I was there.
Yeah.
But like the pizza places of the world all are in that game.
Well, yeah. Every bar or mom and pop shop has wings.
But I'm saying like the big boys, like Domino's, Pizza Hut.
Oh yeah.
They all got in that
they
game.
Got wings, yeah.
And
Papa John's has wings.
Yeah. So their name recognition automatically gets them those orders.
Sure.
So those places like you talked about popping up everywhere couldn't compete on that level.
Well, it makes it easy too when they're already set up with their delivery, their
That's
logistics, the whole idea.
Their
of
infrastructure is
like, I don't gotta go
right.
anywhere. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So
it's kind of like Walmart implementing a new aspect. They're already set up for it. You try to open up a pull up in a drive-through market where they're already like, we have this. Just put in a little section in the parking lot there where people can pull up and walk the stuff out to them.
You know what Amazon is trying out in Seattle? They have a test store where you can walk in.
Yeah, biometrics.
Yeah, well, it's a Whole Foods.
Right.
You walk in, you get your shit, and you walk out.
Right, because the way it works is you have to like submit your biometrics.
Sure.
So you walk in, you give your thumbprint, your eyeball, whatever, however the system is set
right,
up.
and it just scans the fucking shit out of you.
It's set up to your credit card, and then you carry your phone, and as you're walking through, you just scan the UPC and put it in your bag.
Do you sure you even have to do that?
I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I watched like a little mini documentary on the prototype about it.
Yeah.
So it should be coming.
And that goes like you the other day sent me a thing where you got your genetics.
Yeah, the Ancestry.com.
Ancestry, and I just would never fucking do that.
Really?
I mean, your shit's on file somewhere now.
Who gives a shit, dude? What are they
So some fucking murder
me?
happens, and they're like, hey, we're just going to plant this fucking, this shit there, and
Come
now
on
you're
now.
fucked.
Come on.
I guess
now.
I'm too cynical. But
That's kind of crazy. I sent them a little vial of my spit. If somebody,
That's all they
if some
need.
someone can't break it, if the CIA or this big company that's gonna frame you can't get into your house and like steal some shit off your towel or whatever.
Fine, that's one thing, but at least you got a report to be filed. Now they fucking break into these places, some identity theft bullshit breach.
Yeah.
Your shit's out on the fucking open market, and guess what? All of a sudden, you fucking raped a girl in fucking wherever, yeah, wherever.
That sounds a little far fetched to me.
Hey.
That sounds really far fetched. I mean, I'm not denying that something that crazy could happen, but you would have to have like.
Look, I'm not saying it's...
somebody would have to be able to like literally take the small sample that's on file, which I don't even think they keep the samples. I think it's like they enter the samples and discard it as bio.
You would like to think so.
Maybe
you trust that shit.
I mean, I just can't see the feasibility of keeping like millions and millions of like small samples in a freezer.
Dude, who fucking knows? But
right?
why would you? I wouldn't put it past any of these sick fucks.
I think they read it, and then it goes into an algorithm, and that's it. You know what I mean?
You're a fucking ray of sunshine.
I'm thinking about the logistics and the costs of like keeping all those samples, and you would need like a government organization to like keep all that shit. Who's that government? Was it Russia? Mother Russia's keeping it?
Dude, who? Any fucking government.
It seems far fetched. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe
I hope
tomorrow
I'm
we'll
wrong.
find out.
You raped a
Malaysian. I murdered 100 million people. You know.
Well, I mean that's a little extreme, Hitler.
Be like he's new Mao Zedong over here.
But fuck, I mean, the fact that you can even conceive that, means that it's not impossible.
Nothing's impossible. But like I said, if somebody really wanted to burn you, I mean, shit. Today you don't even gotta fucking do that, man. Look how many people get doxxed, like on the regular. Like they say something online or they say something in a podcast, and all of a sudden it's like people are calling their jobs and getting them fired.
Oh yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? Like people are like crazy. Like you don't need to like set me up for something. You could just ruin my life. Someone could ruin your life if they wanted to by saying all kinds of stuff. All they got to do is get a snippet of what we said on one of these clips. You know, make it give it arbitrary
a different story,
context, and then boom. Like you're toasted. Your boss is gonna know, and you're gonna get fired.
Yep.
Like that's true to life, and it's scary.
It is fucking scary. I mean, that's where we're at.
That's where we're at in life, yeah.
And look at these companies, like these big social media conglomerates that are censoring people.
Yeah.
I fucking do not like that.
Well, Facebook's doing it a lot right now.
Yeah, Facebook, Twitter, they fucking censor. I read something the other day that Twitter removed a video posted by Trump. Like, that's fucking bananas.
Well, they're very progressive and left wing, so it goes against their.
Here's my thought. Here's my question about that. And I agree. So so we all know their agenda, right?
Right.
Why
and they're a private business. They're allowed to have their agenda.
It's fucked up.
But it's their agenda.
But it's their. That's fine. Whatever.
It's like saying if I have a Christian bookstore, like
that's your thing.
Don't go there.
That's fine. Yeah, right. If you don't like it, don't patronize it.
If you don't like Twitter, don't use it.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay. Why has there not been the other side of the coin to come out? Why is there not a conservative social media site that's the opposite?
I think conservatives.
None of this shit is.
Conservatives are doing extremely well on social media. You know, as much as
certainly they're
as much as they
you mean in profits
or just in general. I mean, if you turn on YouTube and watch 90% of the stuff on there that actually has like mad views, it's all conservative, like right wing stuff. Like the left wing stuff,
No, I mean, it's there. Well, they got the fucking traditional media.
It's there, but they don't have as much viewership because you get it from traditional media, like you said.
Right.
Like you got the New York Times, the Post, the MSNBC, whatever. Like they're progressive.
Dude, you see that you just reminded me when you said the Post that
Covington boy is
Covington,
suing him
what's
$250
million.
Yeah, that's how much Jeff Bezos paid
For it. Yeah, he's gonna get money.
Sure he is.
He's gonna get money.
Sure he is.
But his fucking life.
That goes back to what I was saying. He got doxxed.
He's fucked for life. Like he won't.
Yeah.
Like anytime. Like if he goes to
Get
an
a
employer, they're gonna
maybe
Google
even
him or whatever.
Dude, colleges are so liberal. If he goes to a liberal college and tries to get in, he might not get in.
100%, because they're gonna search him, and the first thing that's gonna come up is that shit, which is completely false.
Yeah.
It's
Imagine
been proven.
UC Berkeley being like, "Yeah, we're gonna take this kid in."
Yeah, they probably want to take him in just to beat him down.
Yeah, that's tough, man. I feel bad for him genuinely because, you know, look, I'm not advocating for or against anything, but there is a point where you have to say, you know, a young person practicing political speak for the first time in his life, you know, as a young adult, to get put in a position like that by people who are very intuitive. You know what I mean? Like the person, the Native American person who approached him is politically savvy. He's been an activist for many years.
Sure.
He knew to the level of his positioning what he was doing. You know, and I'm not saying that the way those kids acted was good or bad. I think some of the kids in the background that were laughing and carrying on and making fun of the gentleman, they were dicks. You know what I mean?
But you don't know they were making fun of him. They were just laughing.
They were laughing and dancing and kind of being dicks a little bit. You know what I mean? Like look, whatever they did. But that kid himself, because he stood his ground and smirked, like to put him in that position when he's just a young kid and doesn't know his head from his ass yet. You know, when I was 16, like my biggest worry was like buying a HKS Super Dragger exhaust for my Nissan 240SX, and how was I going to afford it by working weekends at the restaurant? And I had a guy up at JA Autos that was going to install it for me, and that was like my biggest deal. I didn't even have the know-how at that point in history to be like, I'm going to go and like stand up on an abortion issue or a non-abortion, whatever. You know, like for me back then, like we didn't have all this social media and all this information coming at us. Our biggest concern was like, are we going to the party this weekend? Did we get a pack of cigarettes to take with us?
Right.
Like, how are we going to get that older guy to buy us some liquor? Like, I wasn't trying to like protest anything. Like, it wasn't part of the agenda. Today, like, we have kids that are 16 that barely know how to drive protesting stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And like, good for them. But at the same time, if they're going to go out there and do stuff like that, don't dox them. Use the opportunity to teach them something different. Be like, look, keep an open mind when you're doing this. Like, sure, you stand for this, but why do you stand for it? Because your mom and dad told you, cool, read this and that. Check this out, check that out. You know what I mean? Like, give them options.
You said something. You said have the older guy buy you booze or whatever. Did you ever have a fake ID?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, come on. I don't know if I can incriminate myself. What's the statute of limitations?
I think we're good. Plus, we're middle aged now, I guess. So
thanks for
we can buy beer.
Reminding me again.
So I got a fake ID when I was 14 years
Me
old.
too, yeah.
In Boston.
Yeah.
In the shadiest fucking place. It was the worst fake ID ever.
Yeah.
It was almost like McLovin on Superbad.
Did it work?
Yeah, it worked.
That's all that matters.
Dude.
I feel like we lived on a different planet back then.
Totally.
Like, I had a shitty fake ID, too, and I was literally 14, 15, going with my older cousins to, like, bars. Like, I remember being, like, 15 years old, and my cousin would, who had a fake ID, we would go down to a club in Baltimore. We had 18 and over and, like, 21 and over, like, two different sections, or you got, like, a wristband. So
Yeah.
And like the two of us had fake IDs, and we'd take three other people who didn't, but we were all the same age. We'd all go to the club, we'd get wristbands and just bring drinks back to the table, and we all get fucking sloshed, and then drive back from fucking Baltimore wrecked.
That's very mature.
At like 16 years old, dude. I mean, like nowadays, oh my god, dude, I go out with my wife for dinner, and I'm like, I had one glass of wine. I'm gonna
call the Uber.
Yeah. I'm scared to death,
nah,
dude.
It's crazy.
Like,
that's one thing I never did was drink and drive. But so I had this fake ID at 14. When I didn't even drink at 14. I think I literally had it for like fucking lottery tickets.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I didn't even drink. Like the first time I got drunk, I mean, I had a beer or whatever up until then, but never got drunk. The first time I got drunk, I was 16. But yeah, I had this thing at 14. It was the worst fucking thing. I seriously think I wanted it for lottery tickets.
Yeah.
But
it worked.
It did fucking work.
That's what matters. I mean, but that's like, I talk to people that grew up in the 70s, and for me, we had some sort of like fear in us for like things going on, and we kind of like did stuff, and we were kind of like badass about it, but whatever, we got away with stuff. But people in the 70s lived like it was like pre-revolution era to me. Like the way they described they'd be like, oh man, I was like 18, I was wasted driving home, the cop pulled me over, he's like, what are you doing, boy? And I was like, well, I had a few too many drinks, that's why I'm swerving. He's like, get in the back of my car, I'll take you home, you knucklehead, leave your car here, you're not even old enough to drink. Like that's the stories they would tell me. Now, I mean, if you get pulled over and my heart's racing, I'm like, oh my God.
Dude, cop, forget being pulled over. A cop pulls up behind you, just driving the highway.
I went and got donuts.
It's like, my heart beats like I got like a fucking 10 pounds of cocaine in the trunk.
God, dude, no shit.
Right? Like I got my kids in the car. There's nothing going on. I'm like, oh my God.
Got my gym bag in the back. It smells. I'm like, oh my God. He's gonna be like, what's that smell? I smell body odor. Right. Have you been doing meth? Like, no. Why would I be doing meth? Like, what are you talking about? You freak. I went and got donuts today. My wife had a dream last night. She's like, oh man, I had a dream last night. I was like getting donuts and like picking them all out, all these different flavors and whatever. And I was like, all right, cool. So I stopped at the shop at Maple Donuts to get her some donuts to surprise her. Lo and behold, a fucking cop pulls up behind me in the drive-thru. I was like, is this a fucking dream right now?
Is this a sting off? Like, Jesus Christ, dude, you can have my donuts.
And the lady took forever. She's like, what flavor do you want? I was like, I don't want
Just hurry up and get me the fuck out of here.
Get out of here. This guy's running my plates. It's my mom's car. I don't even know why I'm sweating. But like, for some reason, just having him there made me think,
your mom hasn't stolen the car in years, so it's registered, fully legal.
Oh, yeah, fully legal. Yeah, fully legal, fully legal.
Yeah, it's crazy how that cop pulls up and your fucking heart just automatically
pop.
For no reason.
Yeah, no reason. I like to wave at cops.
Yeah, they're not bad people.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah,
it always trips them up. They're always like trying to like look but like not be weird. You know what I mean? Because they're like, why is this fucker waving at me?
How about the people that are like straight up like will give a cop a finger for no reason, and they're like. Yo, fucking First Amendment, baby. I was like, what the fuck?
Fucking dumb. Yeah, and those are the people that have like an eighth of weed on them.
Right, they don't give a like, fuck you.
You're like, dude, you got 5 Xanax and an eighth of weed on you. Why are you doing that?
Yeah. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Dude, it's crazy.
No, it's funny because like I get pulled over and I don't even wait for them to ask me. I have like my ID and stuff ready. I'm like, hello, sir, how can I help you? You know?
Dude, I take the keys out, put them on my dashboard, hands on the fucking
lights,
steering wheel.
Whatever, yeah. I have one hand on the steering wheel, the other one's holding the ID and the registration, everything they need. I'm like, what can I do for you today, sir? Is everything all right? How's your evening?
Right?
Like, it's pretty good. How are you doing?
What'd you have for dinner?
I try to be as pleasant as possible just to get it done with. I mean, 90% of the time, I don't. My wife says I drive like an old lady, and it's true. I drive really slow. Do. I don't care to get anywhere anymore. It's better in my car than at work most of the time.
I don't want to pay for a fucking ticket.
No way.
Then if you get the fucking points, then you got the points to deal with. Then you got a driving school. You got to pay for the fucking driving school. Like, I don't want to fucking do that. So it's better to just be. I'm like 5 to 7 over the speed limit. Yep. Done. I'll throw the cruise control on 25 mile per hour speed limit. On like a back road, like, yo, my shit is tight.
Well, I'll do that. I do like the 7 miles over the speed limit on the highway. Like if it's 65, I'll do like 72, 73, and just put the cruise control on.
Yeah,
it's cool.
It's funny how
I've never been pulled over once doing that.
No,
ever.
Dude, it's
I'm
funny
right by cops, wave at them while I'm doing it. Never been pulled over.
But I remember going to a club with our 2 buddies. It was a club in Lancaster with Chris and Sean, and. Came home late at night.
Was it the Chameleon Club?
I don't even remember.
Or Rick's place?
I couldn't even tell you.
How old were you? I'll tell you.
I was 16.
Yeah, you were going to Rick's place.
Is that what it was called?
Yeah,
it was in Lancaster.
It was like up to 21 club.
I don't remember. Dude, all I remember is everybody was under. It was like an underage club. Yeah, there was no drinking. It was like dancing
Rick's
and shit.
Place. We used to go there.
So, anyways.
They played DMX all the time.
I just remember that one time they were playing Christina Aguilera, and I was like. It was like Genie in the Bottle.
Yeah.
I was like fucking mesmerized
Genie
on the screen.
Bottle.
I was like, she's
It would be like Genie in the Bottle, and then the next song would be like, X gonna give it to you. He gonna give it to you. And then everybody would be like grinding.
No,
like,
it's grinding. It's so funny. But anyways, and I remember, so I dropped Chris and Sean off, and had to get back to my dad's place, and
Yeah.
it was 2, 3 in the morning, whatever it was. Completely sober.
You didn't have a senior license, did you?
Fuck no. Completely sober. 150 on 83.
You were.
150 miles fucking per hour on 83. And I was in a...
Did you get pulled over?
Did not get pulled over.
Woo.
Shit my brains out. I mean, not like, I was scared shitless.
Yeah.
150. Just wanted to see if I could get this thing up.
Yeah.
And it was a convertible.
Right.
Topped out. Dude, it was so scary.
Yeah.
But it was like 3 in the morning. There was like nobody on the road. It was like...
It's funny you say that because when
weird.
I was like 16, I had that 240SX and I had souped up, and my buddy had like a Neon that he put all his money into. And the two of us would go from here to Lancaster on 30. And after, right before the bridge back then, until Lancaster, there was never a cop anywhere. Like, I don't know why back then they just didn't police 30. And there wasn't a lot of traffic on it in those hours.
Yeah.
And him and I would race like over 100 to 120 miles an hour. We had governors on the cars. I think that's as fast as they went was 120.
That's fast
But
though.
we'd be doing like 100 to 110 the whole way there, like weaving in and out of traffic, cutting each
So
other.
stupid.
Crazy. Yeah, dumb.
So stupid.
But that was like normal back
Dude, listen to
then.
this shit. One time I was coming back from hockey practice with buddies. This is in Boston. And I was in a Jeep Grand Cherokee. We were like racing a bunch of other assholes at that point. And I'm like looking over them. All of a sudden I see the fucking Jersey barriers as I look, and I look back to Jersey. I just went like that and turned the wheel and missed that shit. I'm telling you, dude, inches.
Jesus.
If I missed, we were all dead. No fucking questions asked. We were all dead. I mean, I still think about that shit now because it was so fucking close.
Yeah.
Like, just stupid shit. You do stupid shit when you're young, man. You think you're invincible.
Yeah, and that's why I drive slow now.
I don't even get out of bed without checking the floor first.
I feel like I'm in enough.
Fuck.
That's right.
Like, I don't want to fall on something.
It's crazy, man, because that's exactly why I drive like I do now, because I feel like I used up all my credits.
Oh,
You
dude,
know what I
9
mean?
lives,
Like,
man. I'm telling you.
I'm done. I gotta take it easy now, you know. Plus, I don't have the eyes or the reaction I used to have.
Oh,
you know,
no,
I
it's
feel
terrible.
like when I was 16, I was in, like, I would be driving, but I'd be in the zone.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like I was the car. Now I feel like sometimes I'm like, I'm not the car anymore. Like, I'm driving the car, but
Now we got even more distractions in the car with fucking cell phones and shit like that.
yeah. Back then we didn't have any of that.
None of that
We
shit.
just had a nice head unit. And we thought it was the shit.
Total shit.
But the only distraction there was changing the CD, because you'd have to pull out that like Bible of CDs you'd have.
Yes.
Like flip through that shit while you're trying to drive stick. Like, oh man. And then, you know, you'd have like your kid's sister. She'd be like, "Can you just drive?" Like screaming at you. Now you're like sending a fucking email.
Dude, I'll tell you
And
something.
it's like completely terrible. The worst.
I went to a buddy's high school graduation party.
Yeah.
Got fucking wasted. There was one point in the night where they picked me up. It was on. There was the keg was on his deck. They all picked. You know, we were doing keg stands, and everybody was wasted. I was upside down. They fucking dropped me because there was a face plant right on the fucking
Keg?
on the wooden deck.
Oh god.
But I didn't even feel anything because I'm 18
Yeah.
years old and B wasted.
Yeah, I
Anyways,
feel
then-
like back then you could take a hit too.
Oh, total.
Total hit.
Right now I get a paper cut. I'm like out for weeks. But so the next day I woke up. I definitely had fucking alcohol poisoning.
Oh god.
So fucked up. So anyways, my sister and I were driving home from this party, and I was easily still fucking
Drunk.
I don't know if I was like still drunk, but like just I would have blown drunk.
Sure.
But I wasn't drunk.
Yeah, you're
Anyways,
hungover.
Dude, more than hungover.
Yeah.
Basically knocking on heaven's door, but got pulled over.
Oh my god.
Oh no, sorry. I got sick, started vomiting. So I pulled the car over. I'm sitting on her side of the car, puking out the side. Cop pulls up behind us.
Yeah.
He's like, "Is everything okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, just got a little car sick, whatever." But dude, he could have fucking got me right
there.
then and there.
Yeah.
Dude, it was scary as fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was out for 2 days.
We've had a couple get out of jail free cards.
I was out for 2 fucking days with like, I don't know if you ever had alcohol poisoning, or where like you can't even drink fucking water without throwing up
Yeah.
because it's so bad.
I've tried not to do that ever in my life, but
I mean, you've certainly
it's
tried, and it
happened,
gets out of
it's
hand
happened
sometimes.
once. One time I went to senior week, and I was a young man, really young, and my buddies there were. It was the first time I saw a beer bong, and I was like, I could do this, and I did a bong, and then somebody dared me to like bong like 99 bananas.
What is that?
It's like a
Like a
It's
liquor?
like a liquor that tastes like Runts bananas.
I don't know what a rump banana is, but it seems like a
Runs,
small
it
banana.
runs candies. The runs
Oh.
candies, you know,
Yeah.
it's shaped like a banana, orange, whatever. It tastes like that banana, like the
the liquor tastes like that.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
So I beer bonged like a bong of this banana liquor. I blacked out and woke up the next day like naked on a bed with no sheets, just like a pillowcase covering my cock. I was like, where am I right now? And my friends told me that like basically I puked at another place and got the whole floor evicted.
Oh.
Like, I'm talking about like dozens of people on senior week evicted. And then they brought me back here. I puked all over again, all over the sheets, and they had to take the sheets and put them outside. That's why I woke up like naked, because there was throw up everywhere, they said. When I woke up, like in a daze, dude. I ended up paying people's like security deposits and shit. Like, people found me. They were like, we're going to kill you. I'm like, dude, don't kill me. I'll pay for everything. You know what I mean? Like, I'll make this right. And I did. I was like, look, I'm not a dick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just fucking beer bonged.
Blame these assholes
liquor.
that made me bong this shit. I'm 16, for fuck's sake. Like, why are they letting me do this? You know? Like,
dude, that is
like, it was terrible. And
I couldn't even.
To this day, if I smell that shit, I'm like,
you want to vomit. Can you eat bananas?
It's better now. They don't taste like bananas.
Just the candy.
It tastes like that candy, that Runch bullshit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's... Dude, I know I got fucking wasted my freshman year in college. I got, destroyed on tequila. Like, you know, like when you can score a bottle and, like, you don't mix it, like, you're just shooting all night. So me and a couple people were just shooting all night. Wasted. I was so fucking hungover the next day. Bill Clinton was coming to speak at our school.
No way.
This is 2000.
Yeah.
So he was just finished his presidency.
Right.
And I just remember being so hungover going to watch him speak. First of all, hungover standing outside to get into the venue was a nightmare. And then being hungover, and to this day, like Jose Cuervo.
You can't do it.
I can do it.
I probably could do it now because it's been so long. But the funny thing is now, like, I really just want to drink like 2 glasses of wine. That's it.
Yeah.
Like if I drink and I drink like, let's say, a few beers and a few shots, I will be hungover the next day, and it will be the worst hangover because I just don't drink anymore. Like, I don't drink. I don't hang out late. You know, the wife's like, it's 8:30. I'm ready for bed.
I'm past my bedtime.
Like, I'll read a book. You know what I mean? I haven't read as much bookage as I have in the past couple of years of my life. I feel like a bookworm now.
Yeah, no.
I wish I read this much when I was in school. I probably hadn't gotten a couple.
You reading any good books right now?
I am reading a really good book. It's called The Sons of Zeus. It's about a invasion of the Thebians, Theba, from Theba. They invaded Plataea. And it's actually in some of the old writings, but this guy like fictionalized it. It's
okay,
like,
so it's a fiction.
It's like history-driven fiction.
Sure.
Which is, I love that stuff because it's like they take like an actual event and then like create characters and spruce it up. So there was one by an author called, I'm gonna mess up his last name, Stephen Pressfield or Prescott, something like that, called
He Forgives You.
Yeah, he does. He's a good guy. I don't know him, but he's a good writer.
Yeah.
It's about Thermopylae in 300, and he did the same thing. He like fictionalized some characters and showed what they went through in that battle and how everything went down, and it was just
that's cool.
It's cool. It's a good way to learn the actual history too, because they pull from the actual writings, the numbers, the ideas, what happened, the melee, how long.
And they build a story around it.
And they built a fictional story around the actual fact. So it's not like 300, the movie, which was based on a comic book, and it's completely fictionalized. Like, you know, like 300, they made it seem like it was those 300 guys and like 28 Athenians. But in reality, it was like 2,000 soldiers that showed up there. Mm-hmm. And they rotated in like hundreds at a time to fight these guys for days on end. Like morning till night, they would just set up and battle until the end of the day.
So how many pages is this book?
Oh man, I don't look at the pages, but I'd say like 300 or so, something like that.
I'm reading. I just finished my first James Patterson book.
Nice. Are they good? My friends swear by them. Like they're out of control.
Loved it. Yeah. I couldn't put it down. And now I'm reading another one of my favorite authors, Brad Thor.
Okay.
He writes these thrillers. They're based on like political thrillers. So it's like this Secret Service agent or this badass Navy SEAL.
Is he like Patterson, where he brings in like a lot of declassified information and
yeah, oh yeah, it's like yeah,
stuff.
yeah, it's great. So I'm in the middle. I'm almost finished this one, but both were these are the Patterson one was like 500 plus.
Yeah,
This one's like 500
he
plus.
he writes thick
Dude,
books.
it was great. So I'm into Patterson now. I want to get some more of
What's
his.
your method of reading? Like I try to read like 2-3 chapters a night.
I try to get in at least 10 to 20 pages a night.
Yeah.
Patterson's chapters are short.
Yeah, so
that doesn't count.
yeah, I mean, like everyone's chapters are different, but
Yeah.
if it's like a long-winded chapter kind of book, then I'll read like one chapter.
I try to get 10 to 20 pages a night. I read on my lunch break.
You do?
Yeah.
Do you have them on your phone or you carry your book?
No, I like the paper.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, I like the paper.
I have a couple books on my phone just because I'll be like caught at I don't know, not the store, the mechanic or something, getting the wheels checked on my car, and I'll be sitting there and I hate just looking at Facebook the whole time or reading tweets. So I'll be like, I'm going to read my book. You know what I mean? So I have like a couple on there. Most of them are like economic or something that's like trending right now. Like I have Jordan Peterson's 12 Steps to Life, and then I also have Friedman's like flat the world is flat or whatever. It's like his
Milton
sequel.
Friedman?
Not the guy that wrote The Nexus and the Olive Tree.
I don't know.
I forget his name.
I have a book right now. It's probably 900 pages. Another one I'm reading. I like to read a couple at a time, but this one is just, it's called World War II.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't get into it as much as I like to, but it's
Sometimes when they're too big,
it's not even that. It's just like it's just not interesting me right now. I don't know.
Thomas L. Friedman.
Okay, I've never heard of him.
Yeah, he wrote The Nexus and the Olive Tree, which basically talked about like the growth of globalization and how it's affecting the world. And then this talks more about how technology and the internet has like made anywhere in the world viable for business.
Mm-hmm.
So like you could be in India and running like a multinational corporation
Right,
around the world.
online.
You know what I mean? Like with Skype and the ability to email or talk, like, and you see that in like a lot of the coding jobs and stuff. If you like have a gig and you don't want to like pay somebody a full salary here to like code for
Yeah, you just get a freelancer.
You just get a freelancer, and most of them are in India. And there's all kinds of gig sites for that. Mm-hmm. It kind of talks about that. It's interesting.
That's cool. Yeah, so I'm into this Brad Thor book. I'm taking the train tomorrow to Manhattan, so I'll probably finish it then.
Yeah, nice.
But
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I would recommend Brad Thor.
I'll check. I mean, like right now I have probably like 7 books to finish. Like I do the same thing. I'll start a book, read like 4 chapters into it, and then I'll find another book, and I'm like, oh, I want to read this, and then I'll have like 5 books started. So I have like the one that I'm reading, and then I have this other one by a economist who used to be the secretary of the minister of economy in Greece, Yanis Varoufakis, and what he went through with like the collapse of Greece and like the European Union, the Troika, and everything, and like all his, it's like his journal of what happened, and I'm reading that, and I got to about halfway through that, and then I picked up this other book, and I actually read another book in between that, Star Wars like rehash of like what happened in the first Star Wars.
That's cool. So, yeah, I get in that little couple books at a time too. But I try to get through them.
Yeah.
So I'm not left.
I also have all my books in front of my shitter, so every time I take a dump, I pick up another book and I start reading it.
Yep.
And that's a problem because then I forget things. Like I'll pick up a book, I'll be like, wow, I read this much of this book, and I'll be like, I don't even remember half of it.
Yeah,
so
that's why you just gotta maintain.
It's better to like maintain one book. Yeah.
Yep. Totally.
Yeah. But I picked up that habit back in the day when we were kids. Do you remember magazine racks?
Yeah.
That you'd have next to the toilet.
Yeah.
There was always like 10 magazines in there. Like that doesn't exist anymore because of phones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. Anyways, let's call it a night.
Yeah,
I think we did good here.
Yeah, so I guess again we'll just mention that if you want to write in, the email address is the matzo-ball-soup@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And then follow us on Instagram, which is the matzo ball soup. And appreciate the subscribers. We seem to be picking up a little momentum there, which is exciting.
Yeah, check us out on Instagram too. That's pretty exciting, Instagram.
Yeah, and
we're putting up good pictures. We're taking good pictures. So
yeah, so we appreciate the.
I have the wife on picture duty. Got to give a shout out to Travel with Samantha. She's our photographer.
Definitely. So we'll see you. We'll talk to you guys next week.
All right, guys. Peace out.
L'chaim!